What's going on, YouTube? We had to call an audible today because originally what I was going to do was I was going to react to the new dev insight where they talk about their matchmaking system in Marvel Rivals. And I'm here to tell you right now, there is literally no reason for me to do that. I might as well just jiggle my breast in front of your face and show you some gyrating Mario, Yoshi, Bowser, and Luigi, because you would get more information out of that would be useful to you than if I were to recap this. Mainly because everything I said in the last matchmaking video 4 days ago is what they basically said here. Everything I said in that video 4 days ago before they dropped theirs is what they talked about in this video. Teamwork, team compositions, people off-rolling and having the ability to fill, one tricks. All of those are things that the matchmaker goes, yeah, we don't really know how to handle that. We don't really know what the best way to deal with that is. So it's a crapshoot, roll of the dice, and you just gotta hope that things don't blow up in your face at the end of it. And I'll be honest with you, we knew that. It's nice that they broke it down, but once again, I'll leave in the video description below the conference in which I got this information from, where NetEase invested a lot of time and resources into developing their own matchmaking system. Now, it's not necessarily EOMM, it's worst case scenario EOMM. Like, it tries to do all the matchmaking stuff first, but if it can't necessarily satisfy that, then they'll put some engagement on there, make sure that you at least get some sort of match. May not be the most curated, may not be the most balanced, hell, may not even be the most fun and, you know, filled with competitive integrity, but at least you'll get a game in a timely manner as opposed to waiting for 8, 15, half an hour queues, which, trust me, if you've ever played Overwatch, you know that has been a common recurring theme that has been plaguing that game's matchmaking. But I digress, pulling it back to Marvel Rivals. Not saying that Marvel Rivals is a terrible game. I think it's very fun at its core when you have 6 people on both teams working together towards a common goal. However, main character syndrome is a thing. You will get that insta-lock DPS player who swears to God that they should be 6 ranks higher, and if it wasn't for all these throwers, that they would be the greatest of all time and an elite level player. And then what happens? They take their butt out there, go 2 for 14, and they go, why am I not getting healed? Why can't the people not see me? I was standing right next to my Cloak and Dagger. And then when you look at the replay, Cloak and Dagger is standing right here going, and where is your DPS player? Nowhere to be found! But they were right next to the support players though. But you see my point. There will be times where the game decides in the matchmaking process that that's right, you buddy, well, that's too aggressive, we gotta use the Obama point. You buddy, you're the one who's supposed to be the one who's carrying your team to victory. However, you're a DPS player, and let's say you play Hela, and you play Phoenix, characters that can solo squad teams that are inferior and, you know, to your level of skill. But you got 3 DPS insta-lockers. So what do? You go, all right, I'll play support. Now, you're not, even though you're playing at the proper level as a support, your DPS are stinking up the joint. And you're not playing on a character that can solo squad carry the team to victory at your elo. So, what happens? Big, fresh, hot L coming right off the grill. And that's not fun for anybody. Now, if you guys want to see the other video where I go in depth about the matchmaker and using the points in their presentation to basically decipher how it works, I don't really feel like repeating myself. I don't really feel like I need to go through the whole kit and caboodle of let's have a recap. I'm not the guy who does next time on Dragon Ball Z, last time on One Piece. I'm not that guy. If you seen it, you saw it. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But ultimately, this video basically summed up was a gigantic nothing burger. It was a molehill that we turned into a mountain because they basically said, at the end of the day, you get what you get. It's a skill issue. And if you just simply play enough, you can beat the matchmaker. Not necessarily good information for the average player or even the most hardcore player, but now you know. Them fixing the matchmaking is not their top priority. It never has been, it never will be, and you're just gonna have to live with that. And guess what? See this thing I'm talking into? This microphone? You see this object in which I can communicate to all of you through the use of this? Y'all gotta start using them more, because sometimes you may have the better team, but you're losing because the other team is simply put going, let's communicate and actually work towards a common goal of securing the W. Meanwhile, you got two people on your team are going, I'm the better Rocket Raccoon. No, I'm the better Rocket Raccoon. No, I said I'm the better Rocket Raccoon. You stole Rocket from me? Well, now I'm throwing. People just be throwing temper tantrums after losing one fight, and at that point, nobody's playing their best. Or my personal favorite, somebody's playing a character like Blade, they go in, or Spider-Man, they go in, and they just have one bad opening fight. And then three people on the team go, oh, look at this guy. GG's, GG's, we lose. GG's, pack it up, guys. GG's, and they just quit. They basically, their brain just doo-doo-doo-doo, goes offline mode. No Wi-Fi connection, no Spotify, nothing. Factory reset, and their mind is already moved on to the next one. And some of you who tilt queue, you already know how I feel about you. Don't let the last game's bad player on your team beat you twice, thrice, and so on. Because some of y'all be still mad at a cloak and dagger you had 3 maps ago, and y'all are pissed. And y'all aren't able to play good for the next 3 games, and then you end up being the thrower. And like I said, the only thing that I really didn't address that this video that we would be reacting to didn't address, but I'm gonna address it. Sometimes you're gonna get the Penny one trick on a map where Penny shines supreme and is just goated with the sauce. But then other times you're gonna get that same Penny player or that Squirrel Girl player who's a one trick, but it's on a map where people are able to play flyers and take real estate in the sky, and it's very wide open. It's not a bunch of corridors. They don't have to necessarily walk into a very specific choke point in order to get to the objective or to get to your team, etc., so on and so forth. So yes, this player might be a GM Penny, but they're playing on a map where you have to basically be a one above all Penny to get the type of value at your current elo, which might be GM2, Celestial, hell, even Diamond. There are just sometimes where people are like, yeah, we don't necessarily have to, we can play around that, be given the map geometry. But once again, now we're just yapping. I don't need to make a 45-minute, 50-minute video like everyone else is doing reacting to it, because they didn't say anything that I haven't already said, and I don't like wasting my time. Anyways, y'all be safe. Have a great one. And yeah, I really like the wall of posters behind me. I really think it brings out the feng shui of the streaming variety. Did I just say feng shui instead of feng shui? Yeah, just cut off my tongue and throw it to the rats. I don't need it. Also, can we talk about Zeong's face? Like, throughout the entirety of this video, he's just pissed off. Like, I think he's just upset that he even had to address this with any amount of his time. So, hey, bro, we're sorry, Big Zeong. That's our bad. He didn't even sign off with Rivals Ignite. He didn't use the catchphrase. He just ended the... Yeah, I'm sorry, brother.